Boom! What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Kenny Parker Show. We do this every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Halloween. I know a lot of you guys are not going to be here, but we'll catch you later on. Um, Spook Realm 4Q, you are first as usual. PSA, if you ain't a jive turkey and Thanksgiving is coming up, I hope you turkeys don't come on this channel. Then purchase the Epic True Story. My brother's name is Kenny. The link is in the description below. You already know about the book. Um, please hit the like button. I keep saying it until somebody does it. Thank you so much. And big up to the Rewind crew who's going to check this out later on. I know a lot of you guys are out doing whatever Halloween festivities that you do. And that reminds me, today's show will be ending at 9 p.m. We usually go to about 9:30, but we're ending at 9 because I actually have a party to do in New York City, up around the Times Square area. So I will be there. So I have to end here at 9 so I can hustle, get ready and hustle uptown. So we'll be ending at 9 o'clock today. Let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see Levitt Official. What's up? Gergen says, Yo, Kenny, have you did an interview with Linda Blair? Yes, the exorcist Linda Blair. Did you know she went out with Rick James for 2 years from 82 to 84? Yes, I did know that. Um, I did know that actually. Uh, Imagine this is the same time he was supposed to be dating Tina Marie. Rick James was a wild boy. And at the same time, he was dating Vanity too. So, Rick James. Yes, I did know that. Shout out to Linda Blair. Um, Johnny Walker, what up, though? Spook Realm, people talk about broken language. Um, and I love I Gave You Power too. That's one of my top five Nas records of all time. Um, People don't really mention broken language as much. That was a dope record. Big up to Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, Brownsville, Brooklyn, and big up DR period. I say his name quite often on this channel, but I don't say his name enough. And he crafted a real Brooklyn sound. If you figure he did broken language, how about some hardcore for MOP and Annie Up for MOP? Three Brownsville groups. Um, I always wondered why MOP didn't work with him more, as is other people, but I always wondered why MOP didn't work with DR Period more. I had the pleasure of working on a project with DR Period back in '99, I believe. An artist out of Detroit. Me and him went out to Detroit to do some work. But yeah, Broken Language is a fantastic hardcore track. Big up to DR Period. I haven't seen him in decades. Um, John Walker says massive flood in Brooklyn. Yeah, I saw that. Fulton Street in Brooklyn was flooded. I can't believe it. You know what makes me mad about that, about New York in general? They gave us this whole speech after Hurricane Sandy destroyed New York and Jersey. They spent billions and billions of dollars getting making New York more stormproof. And the reason why the train fare went up and different things went up was to offset the cost of the Hurricane Sandy fortification. And then we had this rainstorm, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and it rained super hard for like 2 hours and floods everywhere. I don't know what happened with all that money, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Rod Justice, what up? Um, Mr. York. Until they fix your name, bro. Uh, Northeast Bronx repping. What up to all the groovy ghoulies checking in tonight? Yeah, there's a lot of kids. I was out early. There was a lot of kids um, walking around trick or treat. It is so heartwarming to see the youth out there, just having fun and dressing up and having the time of their life. Kenneth Smith, what's up? Mike Rocks 25, what's up? Um, Neves says, y'all heard the new Big L? I have not. I only heard the record with Nas. Seems like there's a lot of features on there. Seems like it's like an EP of Big L and then a lot of other people, but I gotta check it out. Um, let's see. Explicit. What up, DJ Kenny Park and everyone in the chat? This is Halloween and also John Candy's birthday. Rest in peace. Kenny, any favorite John Candy movies? I think I only saw, was it Uncle Buck? I think I only saw Uncle Buck. And I think I saw that with Biz. I think me and Biz went to the movies and saw Uncle Buck, if I recall. Shout out to Biz Marquis, rest in peace. Um, Silk Child 75, what up? Bruce Kennedy, what up? Dear Marisuti, Scarborough, Canada. Toronto is right there. Derek Mallory, salute from Minneapolis. Yeah, Toronto is right there, about to try to win it all. Um, let's see. You know what I used to hate when I was growing up in New York? Mischief Night. Y'all remember? Dude, I know the Mischief Night is everywhere in the country, but in New York, especially in the hood, your Mischief Night was really scary. Like I didn't even go to school. Like when I got older, when I didn't have to, like I had my own mind, I chose not to go to school on October 30th because they'd be throwing eggs, bottles, running up on people putting shaving cream. I seen some girls put Nair in another girl's hair. I used to be like, yo, Mischief Night is too wild, man. I'm not even going to school on Mischief Night. So October 30th, I was never in class. Um, Henry Cedillo, what up? Um, Gregory Dennis says Kenny got a date. Yeah, with some DJ. And it's funny, um, it's an R&B throwback party, actually. So I'm gonna be playing a lot of R&B grooves, which I love. Speaking of that, Mandela's in the building. Takashi Mandela, what's up? Long time. Jack Swagger, what's up? Jack Swagger said Chubby Checker booked Kenny in the city. It's a setup. I would show up and it'd be Chubby Checker. Like, what you was talking about online? Yeah, what's up now? I'm telling you right now, I'm copping a plea. I don't want Chubby Checker. Um, I was gonna say, um, did y'all see that for the first time in 35 years that a rap song is not on the Billboard Top 40? Since 1990, they said since Biz Marquee, Just a Friend, a video that I happen to be in. For those that are a little trivia, I'm in that video with Biz. That's how I got this plaque too. Um, for the first time in 35 years, rap music is not only has dropped considerably in the streaming, but is not in the top 40. And they said that they changed the rules a little bit for recurring songs. They're trying to move out recurring songs to have more newer songs in there. So a song like Luther by Kendrick Lamar may or may not be in the top 40, but they moved it out because of a new rule. And Taylor Swift came in and her whole album is in the top 15. So that pushed a lot of songs back, but still, before Taylor Swift dropped, there might have been one song in the top 40, and that's out. So I say all that to say, is rap music as the dominant music dead? I was talking to my boy DJ Boy Wonder a couple months back. We was having this ongoing conversation about, I had this feeling, I don't know if I said it on this channel, but I had this feeling that hip hop's 50th anniversary was almost like a celebration and a sending off. Like where they give you the gold watch and you get retired. They raise your name to the rafters and everybody claps. It gives you the standing ovation and then you out. I kind of got the feeling, and it's been coming for a minute. And I've made this argument before, and I got dissed on this channel, and I've got this before that rap, and I'm talking mainstream rap selling, rap music being the hip hop being the dominant force for like the past 3 decades. I've been saying for a few years now that hip hop was in big trouble commercially. And the only reason why we didn't really feel it as bad on the charts is because of Drake. Drake single handedly has been carrying pop rap, popular rap for a few years now. And I always said, everybody in the, I'm not talking about our era, I'm talking about the now era, you know, praying for Drake's downfall. And I'm saying, be careful what you wish for, because when Drake is not hot anymore and everyone else now has to make songs, let's see what it looked like. And Kendrick was dope last year. A lot of it on the strength of his battle, but he came with good songs. And he was hot last year and he kind of carried. But a lot of big rap artists dropped in 2024 and 2025 and did not stay on the charts, did not have success. And now there's Drake is not out, and now we see what everybody else is doing. And rap music is in big trouble, y'all. And it's been in big trouble for a while. And I know I sound like an old head. Hip hop is dead. It don't sound like it sounded in 1993. But I'm just talking about the past 3, 4 years. There's always been a hot 2 or 3 songs you could throw on in the party for the young kids and they would go crazy. There's no hot songs. There's no song that you drop that's new and everybody goes, everybody in the whole party has been waiting for this song all night. There is no rap song out right now that everybody in the party has been waiting for. And I say Drake carried not only these new guys, a lot of these guys have their biggest songs with him as a feature. And without him, you take him out of the equation and rap is hurting. I'd love to know what you guys think about that, but um that's my take. And for the first time in 35 years, so the numbers are panning out. So it's not like just I feel this way. The numbers, 35 years, there's been a rap record in the top 40. That's a big rap song. 35 years straight, starting with Biz. Um, I don't know. I love to hear what you guys think. Big up to the mass holes, my favorite slogan. Uh, Crusher Blackwell says, how come KRS has a funny attitude towards going multi-platinum after BDP albums such as By All Means Necessary and his I Got Next album were huge successes? I don't know if he has a funny attitude about it. Um, he has a thing about this. This is a question better answered by KRS, but he has a thing about the charts and record sales being the only measurement of an MC. And he's always saying that the charts and the sales can be manipulated, and it's not the only factor. It's not. It's a factor, but it's not the only factor. and I always felt like he wants to be a people's champion. Um, but he still put up numbers in his career. But I'm not sure if he would be upset if one of his albums went multi-platinum. A new album he drops goes multi-platinum. I don't think he'd be mad at that. Uh, but I'd rather have him answer that question. Um, let's see. Daryl Thomas says, Kenny, you remind me of the actor D.B. Woodside when he was in Romeo Must Die. I did not see Romeo Must Die. Ants on Candy, what's up? Uh, Rock Justice says you should do a party dressed as a masshole. What does a masshole look like? That is the best name ever. Donna McCall says, since I saw The Last Dragon, I had a huge crush on Vanity. Um, do y'all remember, of course you remember Nasty Girls, Vanity 6, written by Prince, by the way. Prince has written some crazy big records for women. What an incredible artist. But anyway, in my mind, I feel like that was the first time that a record, in my mind, got muted out on the radio. Do you remember there's a part in the record where she goes, I need something inches or more. Get it up, get it up. I can't wait anymore. She's just talking. When I was a kid, I remember them muting that out. I remember it was on the radio, and then I remember like them muting that part. I need blah, 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 or more. And I was like, oh shoot, like she got my I was young, I was like, oh, she got in trouble. And I remember, I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Nasty Girls is the first record to ever have like the radio version, the cleanup version, because she said that. Now, I could be wrong. This is just off the top of my head, but just talking about Vanity, what a tough life she lived. She got caught up in the fast life, man. When you get a chance, when you guys should watch like a documentary on her, it's pretty sad. Um, yeah, MMA talking about mischief night. Kids would pelt houses with eggs. They would throw eggs at people. I never liked it, man. Rich Shot, what's up? Explicit Kenny, how does KRS spend Halloween? I'm pretty sure he doesn't celebrate or wear costumes. Is it a whatever day, or does he chill and watch movies? Does he ignore all that and just concentrate on recording? For I don't think Chris doesn't really celebrate hardly any holidays. I'm not a big holiday person either, but he really don't. Um, I'm pretty sure if he doesn't have a concert, he's probably just chilling. I've never heard him mention like, "Yo, Halloween," to get excited. I've never heard him get excited about any holiday. Tell you the truth. Um, Benny Doyle in the building. Uh, what up? This is a good question. Since we know Jay-Z wrote both verses for Snoop and Dre, still Dre, we got to ask, did Snoop write his own lyrics for everything else? I believe in the beginning he did. Doggy Style and the Chronic, because even DOC was talking about how Snoop had rhymes and he didn't have rhyme structure. He would just rhyme 30 and 40 bars straight. And DOC taught him how to break up his rhymes and have song structure. So the way DOC, a great songwriter who was writing for Dre and Easy, how he said it was that he helped Snoop put the structure. I've always seen DOC said he wrote for Easy, he wrote for Dre, but he helped Snoop. Now later on, Snoop, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Snoop didn't seem to have a problem with Jay-Z's rhymes. Like Jay-Z could have wrote Dre's part, and then Snoop could have came in and be like, nah, cuz I got my own part. My Snoop impersonation. He could have probably said that, but obviously he didn't. Or I don't know what he did. I don't even know Snoop. Big up to Snoop. Hey Snoop, why don't you come on the channel and do an interview? That would be so dope. Um, that's a great question. But you gotta question everybody. You really gotta question everybody. Patrick Sargent said Kendrick is so not hip hop to me. Yeah, to you. I'm talking about the young generation. Their big three. Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. That's their big three. Patrick Sargent says 50 more years of hip hop. I don't see hip hop going anywhere but rap. Jack Swagger says hip hop 50th was hip hop's retirement party. I had a fear of that. It could have been. And the numbers are bearing out that this could be the case. On life support, it really is. And R&B is, if hip hop is on life support, R&B has one foot in the coffin. They're throwing dirt on R&B. Um, but all it takes is one creative young boy to come along, a young Nas, young Big, young Rakim, KRS, one of them dudes. In this day and age, you don't even have to be that. It could be a young, I'm not going to diminish, a young dude, not even on all-time caliber, but just a young, dope MC to come along and inspire a new generation, because I knew trap music, and I'm not dissing anybody's music, but I knew that that music wasn't sustainable in the mainstream, and it was hot for longer than I thought, but it seemed like it's tired now. The auto tune and the mumble rap, it seems like it's about tired now, and something has to happen. Hold on. MMA, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. I really, really appreciate it today. So shout out to DJ KP, Chat Family, and the Blue Jays, who can win the World Series tonight for the first time since 1993. Do you know how long 1993 was? Um, it was almost as long as hip hop's been in the top 40. Yeah, Toronto could do it tonight. Um, that would be crazy. World Series uh, is a big championship, one of the biggest. This is ill. Due to Mia X's MVP performance at Versus, I didn't see it. Her third album from '98 just certified platinum. Everybody said, "Who that?" or forgot about her and ran back to listen. All it takes is streams now. Good for her, though. Hope she gets a check. I remember, I believe, I'm not sure, in Chris's contract with Jive, there were incentives for going gold and platinum, I believe. Like he had a certain royalty rate. I don't know what that was, but I believe it once he goes gold, it triggers a check, an incentive. And once he goes platinum, it triggered something else. I do remember that. Um, Raw Justice says trash makes more trash. I'm not going to call it trash. It's their version of hip hop, but it's been the same version for at least 15 years. And it's time for something new. Even the records that Kendrick had, like that Luther record, was huge for him. Even that Luther record was a little bit different than just trap. And it's a sample too. Maybe we should go back to sampling. Maybe we should go back to sampling the great music, and maybe it'll bring back the audience. But it's tough out there. Um, let's see. Neves says, I think you have a very reasonable point with the Drake thing, but I personally think and going back underground, the corporations are going more hands off is a very good thing. Well, if they don't invest, if they don't think investing in rap is good, is gonna sell, because if you look at the top 40, it's dominated by country music, it's dominating right now. And the pop hits, the pop singing hits. But country music came out of nowhere and is doing rap numbers where rap used to have 7, 8, 10 songs in the top 20, top 40. Now it's country. So, record companies don't have any caring. They'll just put all the money that way. Um, so if it goes underground, that's cool, but the money goes too. And the exposure and the endorsements and the jobs and the concerts and the push. I mean, rap music will never be gone, I don't think. But it's I would like to see it resurge back. Um, Kevin Smith says MCs are just hopeless, thinking record sales make them the dopest. Yep, that's been KRS's line all the time. That's been his stance all the time. Um, a mass hole would look like K-Fed and Cena mixed with a bit of Marky Mark Benzino, I guess. Or like my man from the Born Supremacy, the Born Jason Bourne. Um, Rosmel said, didn't Prince write for Sheila E? Yeah, Prince wrote The Glamorous Life. Prince wrote Love Bazaar. And he's singing. If you listen to Love Bazaar, Prince's vocals are on that. He wrote Sheila E. You Got the Look. He wrote that. Of course, Nothing Compares to You was Sinead O'Connor sung his song over. Um, all of Vanity, Apollonia, Sex Shooter from the movie. He wrote all those songs. Manic Monday, I think, for the Bengals. Dude was incredible, man. And I had no idea. Patrick Sargent says, Cardi B means hip hop is dead when they think that's a true MC. Well, she was hot. I mean, when she first dropped it, what has it been, 10 years now? Not 10, but what has it been? Like 8? She was on fire. She dropped now, and there's no big song. Maybe something will bubble up, but the album's been out, what, 3 weeks? 2, 3 weeks? Um, I don't know. You would think an artist like Cardi B dropping would be a big, giant deal with big songs. It's just nothing is really sticking. And you gotta figure Kendrick is not gonna come out now for a minute. He did an album, it did fantastic, multiple number one singles, the whole thing. He's not coming out. So Drake's supposed to be dropping soon. We'll see how that goes. But who else? Imagine all of these guys, Future, and all of these people dropped. Gunners and all these people, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Supreme says real hip hop is taking over now. Well, I'm talking about the charts, the mainstream. Spaceship says happy Kenny Ween. Thank you, Spaceships. Crusher says, like it or not, Drake has ruled radio airways and the charts for 15 years straight. He has. He's really broken all the records for the longest stay on the in the Hot 100. That's the pop chart. He did like 10 years straight of having a song on the pop charts for 10 years straight. And he's had multiple songs on it. That's why I'm saying, and I said this, I wish I had documented this. Maybe I said it, maybe I didn't. But he has been carrying popular rap for a while. And everybody was like, we want him out. Okay, let's see what you got now without him. Let's see. Come with it. Come with it. It's 8:30. For those that's just checking in, this is the Kenny Parker Show. We are cutting the show a little early today, 9 p.m. I have to jump off because I have a R&B party to do a little later on in New York by Times Square. So I'll be up there. So I'm gonna cut it at 9 o'clock, y'all. Some of these younger folks be like, I ain't trying to hear all that rapping while listening to alleged rap music because they don't be rapping. They're incoherent. They just want to hear the sound of, they want to hear sounds. They don't actually want to listen to a rhyme. They just want to hear a sound. That's why auto tune works. It's just a sound. But they'll listen to Kendrick. Kendrick or even Drake or one of these guys will come out and they'll be like, oh, his lyrics are trash or oh, so and so killed it. So it's like they'll listen, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Jack Swagger says Snoop could freestyle his ass off. I'm assuming he wrote, but he had help crafting songs. Yeah. Philly She, yeah, DLC is one of the saddest what if stories ever. Um, let's see. Gregory Netta says Kenny did a better Snoop than Shabba Ranks. Y'all hating on my Shabba Ranks. That's part of my hit album with Anyway and my Shabba impersonation. Where your brother? That's a dope impersonation. Y'all hating on me, man. Y'all think my Snoop is better than my Shabba? Really? Wow. Jack Swagger said the way Kendrick buried Drake was 100% hip hop. It was. But you know what's funny? For a lot of the mainstream, not hip hop fans, but the crossover fans, they have no idea what this battle is all about. They're not like us, it's just another song. They don't really even what are you talking about? They're battling. They don't even know. The mainstream audience is some other audience. Explicit says, Kenny, I did KRS One song, Can't Wake Up. Do you remember him recording that song? He mentioned Cypress and others. Yeah, I'm a blunt getting smoked. That used to be a big song in our show. I'm actually rocking the Return of the Boom Bap shirt. Um, I was not in the studio when they recorded that. I believe that KRS and Preem co-produced that record, if I understand correctly. Um, Neves says Kendrick not being hip hop is some of the craziest ignorant ish I've heard in a hot minute. I respect all opinions. DJ Jojo, the industry changing rules and gatekeeping boom bap from radio is what killed radio rap. Yes, gatekeeping definitely had a huge part in it. It was a slow bomb though. It started about 20 years ago. John Walker says a new style. It could be a new style, or it could be a classic style, which will sound new in 2025. But it has to be a young boy, though. Has to be a young boy that does it. KP, real hip hop will never die. I agree with that. Uh, Explicit says something does have to happen, but why would age matter in hip hop? Many guys over 40 are keeping it dope and making sure hip hop is alive. We're talking about two separate things. I'm not talking about hip hop, the culture and the purity of the rhymes. I'm talking about the pop songs that go gold and platinum, big records. Hip hop in the past 35 years has dwelled on two levels: the underground and dominating mainstream. But the mainstream domination is now over. And you say, what does age have to do with it? I believe, I once heard this quote that said, every generation needs their own heroes. And it stuck with me because it was like, they're right. Because even though me growing up as a kid, my mother liked, Marvin Gaye and Smokey Robinson and those guys. That was her crew. Even though they were incredible still when I was coming up, but that was her crew. Now my crew is Prince and Michael Jackson, and Whitney or whoever the people came up when I was coming up. That's my generation. Then the next wave, they wanted Mary and Mariah and Jodeci, and every 10, 15 years, the new generation needs their own heroes. Not that somebody from before isn't dope, but I think if a 40-year-old comes out, even though Drake is pushing 40, and Kendrick, but a 40-year-old can do it. But I think really to move the needle and get the kids that's in high school and college right now to really feel it, it has to be somebody their age, in my opinion. Um, Jeff Rocker says, I notice you keep looking to your right, meaning like this, because I'm looking at the comments. They're coming up on the right. And to my left is nothing. I'm looking to the right because the comments are on my right. Joey Joe says there's tons of new boom bap rap out here that's got commercial appeal, but the industry has been gatekeeping it off the air, has made it hard for it to fill that gap. Yeah, plus you got to pay. Record companies have to pay too. So it's dope records. Well, what label are they on? Are they on an independent or are they on a major label? Because if you're not on a major label, it's really, really hard to get on the radio, to get Spotify and these streaming services to put your songs in on the front like that. That's all pay. So even if there's dope records, how is it going to get heard unless there's money behind it? It's hard. And you're right, they've been gatekeeping, and now here we are. Um, Mike Rock says hip hop is alive and well and thriving with all its elements throughout Asia. Hip hop is alive and well. It is. Y'all, I think y'all might be misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not talking about hip hop culture. I'm talking about commercial rap music that has been dominating the charts for over 30 years. 30 years of domination. And we hit that 50-year mark and something happened. Rosmel says most of the stuff you hear out there now are samples of older songs. I hear some sampling, but I hear some, other stuff. I don't know. I'm just fishing around. Maybe it is. I think sampling in hip hop is always a good thing. Sampling brings legal issues. No, well, it does if you don't clear it. If you're on a major label, you could clear samples. Um, let's see. Rich Shot says no more originality in rap music anymore. No, and the youngsters have been okay with this for a long time. Then they woke up one day and was like, I don't like it no more. Um, Mr. York says, KP, we need creative sampling, not just hooks like how Puffy used to do it. I'm down with that too, but I'm down with any way that you can make a good song. Me, I have no problem sampling like Puffy. I have no problem sampling like Dilla. Whatever it takes to make a good song. At this point, where rap music is right now, I'll take a Puffy type sample, just straight up sample some record straight up and just go over the top of it. It's better than this, what we hearing now, man. Sheesh. It's all cycles. KRS said country music, you're looking at your end, and they were at the time. Yeah, I mean, rap may have a cycle back, but the problem with rap music commercially is that even other genres, for the most part, their best music is still up at the top. Now, whether it's selling on the playing on the radio or selling big or going back down to their culture, it's still good music in their genre. We're not even getting good music in our genre. We're getting mediocrity in our genre. And the good music in our genre is way pushed down. So if things come back in a cycle, I mean, we'll if is it 10, 15 years and then it'll come back? That's a scary thought, man. Divine existence as peace, KP. It almost seems like we've been trapped in the trap era of music for the past 2 decades. Yeah, it does. It really does. And I feel like trap music to me was supposed to be like a side music, like something that's cool over here for a second, then you get back to the meat. It was like a side dish, like rice or potatoes, not steak. It was just a side thing. It's cool they doing a little thing over there, but this is over here, the big stuff. But that's cool to come over there and come back. When they made the potatoes the main course, it's not sustainable. If y'all get my analogy. But yeah, we've been trapped in it. I've played a lot of it. Um, can we play? Yes, Prince also wrote Shaka Khan. I feel for you. Yes, yes, that dude, man. Um, Prince played all the instruments on his first album. Who does that? Nobody. And he fought for that. He was like 19 too. And so he was like 17, 18, and other record companies wanted to sign him, but they wanted to bring in producers. And he said, no, the only record label, I'll only sign with a record label if I could do everything. And I guess Warner Brothers let him do it. And they were smart. Dude was like 17, 18, making hits in a time where there were tremendous musicians out. Uh, Just right says KP, are you going to play Monster Mash tonight? No, because it's like an R&B party, but I have DJ'd Halloween parties where I played Monster Mash. I have. I have in the past. Yes, I have. And it rocked. um, let's see. Um, Sue Graham says, and that's the difference between real rap and club radio rap. Well, see, to me, I think it's all real rap to them. If you ask somebody make a what you consider real rap. They might make something over here. And then you ask another person what you think is real rap. They might make something over here. I'm down with all of it as long as it's good, or I think it's good. Charles Bombay said, we're in halftime and zero chance of OT. I'll take it. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I got to check out in 15 minutes from now. Um, Silk Child says, KP, did you hear your brother track with Fabulous and Cassidy? I saw that on YouTube. I didn't even get a chance to click on it. But, I feel like this one of them put together records. Did he really do a song with them? I haven't heard it, though. Snoop's freestyle on the song Shizness. Dr. Dre says Snoop didn't know he was recording him. It sounds like a freestyle, too. That whole album, I feel like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most of Doggy Style was a freestyle. I think Snoop wrote rhymes on The Chronic, and I think he freestyled on Doggy Style mostly. I have no idea if that's true. Anyway, for the 2026 Grammy, yes. And I should do a remix. Joey Joseph, isn't Drake's new album drops tonight at midnight? I don't know. Is that true? Iceman or something? Broken Wokey says, where can we buy the shirt, KP? I think I had this shirt made for me. KRS has a bunch of merchandise. Is it KRS? I don't know. KRS1.org? I'm not sure what his website is that he's selling stuff. It could be the Temple of Hip-Hop.org or KRS1.org. One of those, he's selling merchandise. But this particular shirt was made for me a long time ago. Let me scroll all the way down to the bottom. This is my argument, Cutie Pie. Who cares as long as it sounds good to you? Yeah. Marquise says KRS One didn't come correct on that track. I'm assuming it's this new song you guys are talking about. DJ Joey Joe says, hey, Kenny, how many times will you think somebody requested Thriller and somebody's watching me? Well, this particular party is like an R&B party. So I don't know if it's going to be that. But normally, every half hour. Thriller, play Thriller, play Thriller, play Thriller. And I also play Ghostbusters, too. Ghostbusters does real well on Halloween. Oh, this is interesting, Spook Realm. Correction, Prince made 3 albums by himself, and that's why he did no concerts until 1999. He didn't do concerts until he found artists that can play his songs correctly. True Prince fan here. Thank you. I mean, I thought he was on tour with Rick James. What year was that? R.I.P. MF Doom. Don't think I ever met him. Not sure. Maybe I met him when he was in when they did Peach Fuzz. I think I may have met him then, but let's see. KB Play, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Is Bobby Brown on our own a Halloween song? I don't think so. Like I said, I played Ghostbusters. That song was in the movie, but I don't know if it's a Halloween song. That's a dope record, though. That's a dope song. Big up to Bobby Brown. I would say no. Is trading play? Oh no, what is this? He was on tour with Rick James from Dirty Mind album. Oh, okay. Chris Morale says Prince's genius is overblown. He's good, but Jesus. I don't know, Chris Morale. I think it's not overblown. You really do the research. He was a child prodigy. The dude played 27 instruments by the time he was 17. He wrote all of his songs, produced all of his songs, played almost all of the instruments on his songs, had massive success, incredible live, incredible dancer, one of the greatest guitar players that ever lived. If Prince was just a guitar player and that's it, he'd have been one of the greatest to ever do it. I think you should really do some research on Prince. And if you think he's not a genius, who do you think is more talented? Just curious. Ilroy, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Much appreciated. MF Doom was known as Zev Love X in the group KMD. I feel like we met them or did a show with them back at that time. I feel like that, but I'm not sure. I don't want to go out on a limb and say, yeah, I met him, and I didn't. Um, Mike Rock says that's just like Stevie Wonder, who played every instrument on some of his songs. Yeah, Stevie's another one. That's musical genius level. And I don't use that term lightly, but Stevie and Prince, for me, um, is as talented as it gets. Um, these guys are so great that other people could sing their lyrics and have hits. It's incredible. Dodgers are up 1-0. That's dope. Um, let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me make this a little bit smaller so I can see. I'm at the very bottom, so I am seeing comments in real time. We got 7 minutes, y'all. Stevie is our last living musical genius. I always wanted to play the harmonica like him. I can argue that. I might argue that. Um, and if there is a musical genius, they haven't had the commercial success yet to put them in the big spotlight. There are probably some super talented people who still have not had the commercial success to get on everyone's radar. Prince and Stevie, man, that's as good as it gets. I've never met Prince ever, unfortunately. Is Trading Places the best Christmas movie of all time? I'd have to think about that. It's a great one. Die Hard is great. Home Alone is great. Um, off the top of my head. Jack Swagger says, thanks for giving us time tonight, KP. Thank you so much for checking in. This is the Kenny Parker Show. Big up to the Rewind crew who's going to check this out later on. Um, yeah, for those that's just checking in, I got to get out of here at 9 o'clock. I got a party to do. Um, I might go on Instagram Live tomorrow and do a check-in on there. just to stick my head into place. KP says they call Teddy Riley a prodigy. He's another one, really incredibly talented. Incredibly talented. I wouldn't put him at Prince and Stevie level, but for the modern era, for the past 35 years, he is one of the most talented artists in the past few decades. I'm talking about singing, producing, instrumentation, the whole package. Um, A Christmas Story was a funny movie. I forgot about that. Tracy says, thanks, Kenny. Have a great night. Yes, thank you. I'm not out yet, but shout out to Pinhead Hellraiser. What are these random names? Uh, and here's something crazy. Teddy Riley, I believe, if I get my facts straight, once asked KRS he wanted to produce on one of Chris's albums, either the KRS self-titled or I Got Next, one of those two. Teddy Riley said he's just trying to break into more into hip hop. He didn't even want any money. He just wanted to do a track. I remember that. Free. He just wanted to do more hip hop. I don't know what happened. Apparently nothing because it didn't happen, but I do remember that. CMC's technique in class. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it as usual. Salute KP. Listen to my favorite R&B artist, Angela Winbush, who I love too. Song Angel, the funk bass line is so gutter, is in a versus battle between Patti LaBelle. To me, Angel reminded me of Your Smile, though. I think it was Your Smile. To me, it seemed almost like a remix, but I love Renee and Angela Winbush, loved You Don't Have to Cry, all that. I'm a big ballads person, especially like the 80s ballads. I loved all that. Um, and they had funk records too. Angela Winbush is a monster. I got 3 minutes. Let's see. I'm at the very bottom. KB Play says if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then so is Lethal Weapon. Ah, Lethal Weapon happened to be on Christmas. At least Die Hard has some Christmassy themes in it. To me. Drake Stack Dollars. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Salutations as usual. Thank you so much. I got 2 minutes, y'all. Uh, Mike Rock says Angela Winbush has crazy songs she wrote. Yes, she was the truth. And when she separated from Renee, we never heard from Renee ever again. Charles Bombay said, yo, I forgot about Lethal Weapon. I want to change my vote. Is that a Christmas movie, though? I don't know about Lethal Weapon. All right, Charles, 8:59. Um, Thank you guys so much for those that's just checking in. I have to jump off. I got a party to do in Times Square area. Uh, Tuesday, God willing, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be here. Please hit the like button for those that's just watching. Please, please, please hit the like button. And big up to the Rewind crew. And Rewind crew, please hit the like button. Sorry, I got to cut this one short, but I got to do what I got to do today. And I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Still got seconds left. I'm going to go right to the last second, and we're going to jump off. I'm at the very bottom. Peace to everybody. Okay, yes, it is. It's not 9 o'clock yet. I think we got 5 seconds. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. I'll catch y'all on Tuesday. Peace.